welcoming our first semi-finalist country. It is, of course, the Netherlands. Here come the Dutch team. They're looking good in orange. Ranked 19th in the world, currently making them the lowest ranked team left in the competition, but they had the most impressive victory in the quarterfinals, 5-0 over Morocco. They got them through to the semi-finals. Welcome, gentlemen. Let's please join me in welcoming the next semi-finalist going up against Netherlands. It is, of course, Italy. Here come the Italians then. Despite a slightly underwhelming group stage, they did what they had to do to get out, and since then, they've been on fire, scoring more goals than any other team in the knockout round so far with 8. And ranked 5th in the world makes them the second highest ranked team left in the competition. Sure to be a fantastic game, obviously battling out for this trophy. Referee James here is going to do a coin toss shortly. I'm just going to ask both teams a quick question first. Starting off with the Netherlands, I mentioned as you guys entered the arena that you're the lowest ranked team left in the tournament at 19th. Do you think that's right? Where do you see yourself out of these 4 teams left in the tournament?
That's a tough question. I think these 4 countries really deserved it, together with, in my opinion, Israel and Germany, maybe the favorite 6, 7, maybe a miss one. And I think all the countries left are just top tier countries. I think their ranking doesn't say much, to be honest. And we would just fight to get higher on the ranking by our placement today.
And what have you got in store for Italy? They've obviously been really impressive since they got out of the group stage. Have you got a plan in mind?
Yeah, we have a game plan. You know us. We always prepare the best possible with Renzo. And yeah, Italy was our main practice partner, to be honest, before this tournament. So we know each other quite well. But I believe if we reach our level, we can beat them.
Lots of history between these two sides. As we cross over to speak to the Italians, they just said that you've been training partners in the past. So do you know all their secrets?
Probably yes, probably not. Who knows? We will see in the game. But, maybe we changed something in the last days. They did the same. So I don't think there will be like secrets or known things about us.
What changed for you guys after the group stage? Because I was just mentioning there, 8 goals in your last 2 rounds, more than any other team. Very different to how you performed on the first 2 days.
Yeah, I think that's the same thing that happened to us last year, because we went through the group stage as 4th also last year, and at knockouts we were playing incredible. I think that just best of 2 that fits better with us, and we are playing good. We will see.
The Italians do come alive in the knockout games. Right, it's time to do our coin toss. James, we have a purple side and a blue side of the coin. Can you let us know which side is which country?
The blue side is Netherlands, the purple side is Italy.
Okay, take it away, please, James. The blue side, which is Netherlands, which means Netherlands will be the home team in the second leg. Okay, best of luck, guys. Going to hand over to our casters now to talk us through this one.
Thank you very much, Spencer, Owen. The stage is set. We are ready in the casting position. Richard Buckley and Alex B. Alex, we've got 4 nations remaining. First semi-final. It's going to be a cracker. What are you expecting to see from this game?
I'm expecting a very mature performance from Italy. They've been so good throughout this knockout stage where they've got the job done, very different to what they had at that group stage. But the Netherlands as well, they've just looked relentless in that attack. They've been going forward with freedom. They've made tactical changes when they need to. Renzo, the coach, is happy to sub out players when needed. It's going to be an interesting battle, one where I think the Netherlands will want to try and take it to Italy, and Italy will just do what they do, which is make it difficult to break down and take their chances if they get them.
There's an opportunity for both of these nations to become almost legends, you could say, right here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. You win this game, $150,000 guaranteed. Are you surprised to see the lineups as they are?
No, I think when we spoke on the couch with Aggie there, saying that he was thinking Emre Yilmaz and Levy were going to be starting, and that is going to be the duo which will start that game. It doesn't surprise me whatsoever because Manu has been coming in and doing exceptionally well when he's been called on.
Well, kickoff, I'm hearing, is only moments away. If you couldn't get any more excited, have a look at these good luck messages from our friends at FIFA.
Hallo, dit is Ruud Gullit. Ik wil het Nederlands E-team wil ik heel veel succes wensen. En ik zit nog steeds in Spanje. Het is heerlijk weer, ik ga zo golfen. Dus kom op jongens, zet hem op en heel veel succes.
Saluto a tutte le squadre partecipanti alla FIFAe Nations Cup a Riyadh. Siamo orgogliosi del percorso della nostra E nazionale. State facendo benissimo. Un grande in bocca al lupo per le semifinali. Ciao.
I mean, if you couldn't get any more excited, you just got two national heroes there, Ruud Gullit, Roberto Mancini. I'm sure there's been some messages sent overnight to get those in order for today. In these moments, you're coming into a semi-final, the word pressure often gets floated around a little bit. Will they be feeling it on that stage, or is it, at the end of the day, you know what you're getting into? You know you're getting into a two-legged match of FIFA. You know exactly what you need to do. You play the match and not the occasion.
The pressure will be there for both of these teams. They know the occasion that they have, especially for Italy as well. They were here this time last year. They won't want a repeat of that. And when we think about Levy on the side of the Netherlands, well, it was only 5 days ago where he was competing in the Club World Cup in that semi-final position with his teammate Ololito. That didn't go to plan for them. They got knocked out by RB Leipzig. They put in an exceptional performance against that team of Team Gullit and Ninja in Pyjamas. So that will be playing on the mind, saying we're not going to have that again today. I want to advance through to the final. Pressure will be building.
When you look back at how they did, Italy round of 16 win Israel, they beat them, and then they knocked out Saudi Arabia in the quarterfinals. There was a common denominator in both of those games. They started the first leg very slowly. They won the second leg, scoring 3 goals in both games. Is it going to be as simple as whoever starts strongest potentially takes this tie? When you look at the Netherlands, it was a really tight game against Morocco in the quarterfinals. Then the second leg, they made the change. Manu Bashar came in. They won 5-0. Will they know that on the stage as well, that the first leg is super, super important?
It is super important, and the Netherlands, for them to want to take down this Italian side, which has grown with confidence throughout the tournament, it's about having that strong and aggressive start. You looking to take the game to them, whether you can get that 1 or 2 goals. It's a very difficult thing to do against this Italian side of Danny Pitbull and Oberon, which you can see on your screen right now. When we look at the bracket runs as well, I'm kind of leaning more towards Italy in the sense that I think they had a tougher route to get to this semi-final. Netherlands taking nothing away from what they need to do against their opponents of Australia and Morocco. Like you said, that they've blown the water out with Morocco. But this Italian side is going to be a different beast.
Well, this is no disrespect as well. If you ask people before the tournament started, Israel and Saudi Arabia would have been potentially a winner, a semi-finalist, certainly. Australia and Morocco wouldn't have been in that conversation. So the stats, you don't have to be worried that the Netherlands are going to come for you, or Australia and Morocco will be tweeting you. I think everyone would agree in that fact as well, with the Netherlands having potentially an easier run. But that's also because they finished second in the group. They got a better seed. They potentially got more preferable matchups. Italy finished 4th. At some points during the first couple of days at the FIFAe Nations Cup, we were asking, are they even going to go through? They turned it around in drastic fashion as we are underway for our semi-final number 1 here at the FIFAe Nations Cup. It's going to be Italy from left to right. Oberon and Danny Pitbull, the duo on your screen from right to left. Levi David and Emre Yilmaz, the Champions League winner. He's lifted somewhere already this season. Both players have. Levi lifting the EA Sports Cup in January.
And then you go on the opposite side of things, Danny Pitbull lifting the E-Serie A for the 2nd time in his career. When you look at the accolades of...
Everyone's a winner.
Yes, every individual player on this team. There's just trophies, there's moments, and great chances for them to put themselves on the biggest stage again in the FIFAe Nations final.
You see Ruud Gullit making that run into the middle of the pitch. When you're talking about achievements as well, something that's gone under the radar, Levi, he won the EA Sports Cup 2v2 tournament. He's finished in back-to-back Club World Cups as a semi-finalist. He is potentially starting to make his name as one of the best 2v2 players we've seen. I also love the fact that in that game, we've now come to find out against Morocco, he said it wasn't Renzo making the choice, it was Levi. One of us needs to get subbed out. Me or Emre need to come out of this team. He spotted that, they reacted, they went and scored 5.
And that shows the maturity of Levi as well. To make that decision and say, something's not right here, we're not playing well together, let's make that change, and not just leaving it down to the coach. That's a big decision for a player of Levi's quality to make. And thankfully, it worked out exceptionally well in that quarter-final game.
Just given the history of this tournament thus far, with these two in it, expect maybe a slightly less goal-scoring first leg performance. Here is the Netherlands building into an attack. Thierry Henry, finesse angle was there, but he decided to recycle possession, and Italy more than happy to bring it clear.
For Italy, if you want to try and stop this duo from Netherlands to getting into that 18-yard box and showing the class that they have, we know how mechanical Emre and Levy can be in those areas. They've got the turns, they've got the twist, they've got the skills to beat a man at any point if you allow them in there. It's about you being aggressive, it's you player switching, it's you manipulating and moving your defence in the way that you want them to situate. And that is something that Italy, in the group stage, yes, they struggled with ever so slightly over that one leg of FIFA. Knockouts, they've looked so much stronger defensively.
Complete different animal. They've evolved.
Evolved indeed. And we were talking about it so many times, saying that they prefer 2 legs of FIFA. They want to just get through to the knockouts. It's nice to say, Catch here before the game saying, yeah, we're better over 2 legs. We don't like 1 leg of FIFA.
Group stages, house cat, knockouts, Jaguar. Italy are a force to be reckoned with when we get to the more traditional, as we say, FIFA Esports rule set. The Netherlands more than happy to keep this ball pinged over to the left-hand side. Ousmane Dembele has been receiving it on the touchline, very similar to his opposite flank in Roussillon. Mbappe just trying to force the ball inside with that driven pass. Been a few mistakes in the opening 30 minutes. We talked about nerves and pressure. Good example of it being displayed right here.
I really like what Netherlands are doing as well, though. Yes, they've given the ball away a few times as they're trying to force it in to that final third. They have been very patient in their build-up, and it's almost testing the mental resilience of Italy to say, how precise are you going to be with your player switches? Are you going to work across when we switch that ball from one side to the other? It can be draining at times, constantly not having the ball and making sure that you're accurate with it. Italy, though, looking to kind of fire their first way into an attack.
The winner of this match plays Brazil or France in the grand final. For the accolades of the best FIFA nation on the planet, that's a lovely ball over the top. Great first touch, and he struck it early as well. Thibaut Courtois down to his left-hand side. The corner will be played. Italy trying to maintain an attacking presence. It's a lovely ball over the top.
It was, and Italy have used that time and time again throughout this tournament. It's where they kind of fake that they want to look somewhere else. They send a player on the run through the middle, and then it's just looking for that over the top. A brilliant power shot, just backing the conviction in your strike, testing the goalkeeper, maybe trying to see if Netherlands go for any goalkeeper movement on one side of that goal. But going behind for a corner, and Italy building into the game.
You just see that run there from Frenkie de Jong. Wasn't the most convincing pass. Over the top through balls seems to be the main way to get in behind and create chances at this current juncture. Offside trap from the Netherlands, but Italy savvy to it, not turning over possession, and expect a switch of play right on cue. Thierry Henry picks it up. Give and go. Henry driving to the byline. Nice ball scoop turn. Recycling, one-touch passing from the Italians, but unable to really get Mbappe into his strides. Probably looking for a double step-over exit.
It's fantastic defending from the Netherlands. Moving across as a unit, giving up little space inside that 18-yard box. They're going to be happy now just to see this one through to half-time. Look to generate that last attack and try and work a golden opportunity for themselves. That man, Vanja, he makes the run. But they say, no, get back in your position. Don't go any further.
You can't miss him.
No.
Takes up half the screen. 0-0 at half-time. In our first leg of FIFA, both coaches and happy to be involved. Hollywood not deciding to use the coaching tool. This doesn't... They always look like they're arguing, like the one comment away from starting a brawl.
As we go ahead and take a look at the Italian chance that we saw in that first half of the first leg.
You see the run.
Nice and early. The Netherlands switch onto it. Van Dijk's there, but Socrates just takes it past. Again, I reiterate, it's a brilliant strike just to kind of take that confidence to say, I'm going to try and get this on target. When you're having your first opportunity, the last thing you want is to fluff your lines, put it wide, maybe red time the finish. Let's just ensure that we work the goalkeeper. We know Danny. Outside, lovely.
In the game.
In the game.
Passionate.
Passionate.
Beast.
I like these conversations though. It just shows that even in a first half where it was cagey, you know, yes, a few passes swayed, they're talking about it. They're having those conversations with each other, looking to find any sort of angle, any extra inch you can get to break past this Netherlands team.
And on the other side of it, the Dutch, there was a little bit of communication with Renzo. He pulled something up on the coaching tool. They were talking through it. Do we I mean, you're not going to see a change yet, but Manu Bashar probably sat there behind thinking. Also, when you're watching, you can pick up, I think, a little bit more. Like when you're sat behind, you might spot a weakness. You might spot something that the Italians are doing. When you're playing, it's a completely different experience.
It is, and that's where Renzo, Manu would have just been saying to their two players, Emre and Levy, this is maybe an area where we can look to...
This is where we can get in.
Yeah, get in behind. Sometimes, though, if you've only got one message to deliver, say the message, let's wait. There's no need to overcomplicate it. Make your messages precise and clear.
No small talk?
No small talk.
You're not a fan of the small talk when you're in the booth coaching?
No.
Our breakfast, fellas. What did we have? Eggs were nice.
Waffles were good.
Certainly were. Netherlands back underway for the second half. No changes in personnel or on the pitch. You just see that run at the top of the screen. The Netherlands have done very well, and there's a couple of holes that they could have exploited. The pass is wayward, and once again, you're just not quite seeing that cutting edge.
Multiple times for Netherlands where they're trying so hard to get it into that final third, into your attackers, into your strikers. They're looking for that driven pass. They're being forced with it. Sometimes when your player's got green space around him, he's got 2 or 3 seconds to carry that ball forward themselves. You can just look to do that. Instead, the Netherlands, they want to get forward quick. They want to be direct.
Almost play too fast.
Yeah, and we know from what we've seen from Italy, if you give them the ball back time and time again, they will grind you down. They're happy to be slow and patient where needed.
You see Socrates out of position at the back. The Netherlands certainly saw that, tried to exploit it, but Italy with enough bodies around the ball to make sure that there wasn't space to be attacked into. Hakimi's getting some running in with his teammate of PSG down that right-hand side. Mbappe linking into De Jong. Wayward pass in the middle of the pitch, and it could be capitalised on here from Italy. One-touch passing. It's going to rebound very fortunately. Scrappy in the box, and it will go out for a corner. We have got a pause. 2/3 completed.
I really like that change of tempo from the Netherlands there. That one touch and then pass, or a first-time pass. It got into R9 and the space just opened up. I think Italy were a little bit like, we maybe wanted a skill move, and they went for that shot. The block comes through. It was a huge opportunity where if they would have just drove and maybe looked to take the defenders on to create a better angle, it could have been first blood over to Italy. Either way, though, a corner to work as Katja gets across his messages.
This to me looks like they've just used a quick PlayStation tool to go back, save the recent gameplay, and they're watching it back now.
Yeah, and that's something that players at home can, if you have that PlayStation, you can use that so many times. I do it myself. I miss a chance. Why did I miss it?
Oh, I wasn't wrong.
Wasn't aiming correctly. I didn't green time it. I took the shot on a bad angle. There's so many things you can learn from just watching back in those tight moments.
As you see, the Netherlands are ready to rock and roll. 90 minutes still left to play in the second leg. I think we've got about 30 in the first. The short corner has come in from Italy. Recycled to the edge of the box, into R9. He offloads to Mbappe, a nice reverse elastico, but once again the Netherlands with an orange shirt in the way.
Italy looking to test the defence a bit stronger there with that skill move. The Netherlands, though, very much equal to it.
It's going to be a chance here for the Netherlands. Recycled to the edge of the box. Henry, Frenkie de Jong, back to Ruud Gullit. You're looking to find one of those attacking players, dawdling just a fraction too long on the ball. The Netherlands send maybe a little bit into panic stations. Italy give the ball away, and we go again with a wayward pass in the final third. Possession overturned, and we find ourselves back at route one.
The Savic makes that run, that long throw.
It's a giant one. He's going to win it.
Socrates just about did enough.
He's fighting for his life. He's climbing up the skyscraper that's Milinkovic Savic. Italy come forward once again. That one-touch passing in around the box, something synonymous we saw with Danny Pitbull in his Riyadh victory with Juventus Desire earlier on this season, just being able to go bang, 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 one touch, one touch, one touch, and then taking the shot. Certainly see that's what they're wanting to achieve in the final third, and they're getting close, but can't quite create that final pass to open up the space for a strike at goal.
Yeah, they'll look to keep working that as and where they can. Sometimes being slow, sometimes being direct and quick.
It's a lovely pass. Unfortunately, it's going to run all the way through to Thibaut Courtois. The amount of times the ball has been overturned has to be up there, 15, 20, whether it's a tackle, whether it's a wayward pass. Just as I say that, goes out of play for a throw-in.
I feel like you can tell we're in a semi-final game right now in that first leg, with neither team wanting to make any critical decisions to say, yep, this is how we're going to progress forward. Just forcing it ever so slightly time and time again, causing that turnover of possession. Neither team wanting to say, brilliant, you've given me the ball on the halfway line, I've got a chance to put a few numbers forward, let's look to capitalise on it. Each defence just about doing enough to see it through, whether that's out for a throw-in, just that turnover back of the ball.
Yeah, you'd rather sort of make an error yourself than make an unforced error that leads to a goal. Like, just so nervy. And look, this is what we expected coming into this first leg. Italy weren't great in the first leg against Israel and Saudi Arabia. It was the second leg where they turned over the game. On the other side of it, a penalty shootout win for the Netherlands against Australia, and then it was a second leg performance that even the most diehard E-Orange fan at home can't imagine, a 5-0 win in a second leg.
Yeah, and I think as well, though, that also, when you look at that game against Morocco, Morocco went for it. They started to commit their numbers
probably
forward.
Like 3-0. Yeah, this could be, you either lose 3-0 or you might lose 7-0. Yeah. We were speaking to Dory last night, and he was sort of saying, we just got to go for it. 15 minutes left to play. The first leg of the FIFAe Nations Cup semi-final number 1. See a few fresh faces on the pitch. Hugo Lloris, centre mid. Musiala is on as well. Paul Pogba for Italy, deployed on this left-hand side. Klosterman looks fresh. Nice interception. Can't do too much with it, the Italians. Runner on the outside, decide to miss him on this occasion, and Mbappe takes the space that Hakimi left him. With Hakimi up the pitch, there could be an opportunity here for the Netherlands to, if they go fast, get in behind. They tried it.
Yeah, I like that a little bit more intent to drive forward with that fullback and just push yourself up the pitch and gain some territory, looking for that cross. One thing that Italy's doing much better than the Netherlands right now is using these wing-backs in these positions. The Netherlands are looking to be too direct when they pick the ball up in the middle of the park, and Italy are reading it every time, causing themselves to just have that turnover time and time again.
With 5 minutes left to play, there might have been a conversation about last attack. Not on this occasion. Paul Pogba, what does he have in the locker? I can answer the question, a lot. Not on this occasion, however. Frenkie de Jong is the one who turns over the ball, and with 3 minutes left to play, the Netherlands will play for one final chance in this first leg. We did say it's going to come alive in the second leg.
I hope you're delivering on that promise.
Me too. I think we've had one shot on target. It was the Italians in the first half.
Yeah. which even still, it was unless goalkeeper movement comes through to take it away, it was a small chance.
The clearance is long. The possession is once again turned over, and that will do us for the first leg of action. You're watching the FIFAe Nations Cup 2023, Italy up against the Netherlands. You've watched one leg so far, Alex. Quick thoughts after the first leg. There's not much to break down.
There's nothing to break down, but I think Hollywood, Italy's coach, and Renzo, Netherlands coach, I think they're both going to be happy with what they saw. In the sense of, defending was good, it was solid. Where they're going to say to each other is, let's try and be a little bit more accurate with our passes and work those chances.
We've heard the thoughts of Alex B. Let's get the thoughts of a former world champion, August Rosemeyer, joined by Brandon, Rachel and Mike.
Yeah, thanks, Rich. Well, possibly as we predicted it to be. A draw going into the second leg, as both of their quarterfinals were as well. The Netherlands, when they took on Morocco, was 0-0 at this stage, and then Italy had the team from Saudi Arabia, and that was 1-1. Can you read into that, Mike?
I mean, that was the storyline of the quarterfinals. Is the first leg, I don't want to say it was a throwaway, but nobody went for it. They were always cagey matchups, and then the game really opened up in the second leg. This is setting up nicely. Everyone's gotten used to it. We didn't see a lot of those risky passes. You didn't see the skill moves. You didn't have any of the special work around the edge of the box. But it's a good game to get to feeling out your opposition. And as Alex was saying, I think both sides will be happy or be okay with where they're standing going into that second leg.
Well, the defence was strong, wasn't it, in that first leg there, Aggie? We spoke about Manu Bashir will possibly come in now. The Netherlands in the quarterfinals put 5 then when they did that past Morocco. The Italians have been strong in defence. What's going to happen in this second leg?
I think they're definitely going to sub Manuel Bachore in the second leg here. If they will do it from the beginning, I'm not sure, but he will definitely play a part. You also saw him there on the cam have something to say to his teammates, so he might observe something that he can come into the match and execute on.
Italy don't have that strength, possibly, of bringing their third player in. They've got to stick with this pairing that we've seen in this first leg, Brannon.
Yeah, well, I think you've seen as the tournament's gone on, they've mixed, they've changed, but Catch has been more of that sub-player now. I think the one thing that we can also look into with this Italian team, it's the only team that has the exact same players as last year's competition, which goes to show, one, how good those Italian players have continued to be in the FIFA ecosystem, but also potentially the relationship they have as a three. There's no egos in that booth, and they just want to win. That's what they're here to do.
Well, it's now Renzo as well versus Hollywood. How do they both kind of do the team talks at halftime? Very different characters, aren't they here? One's a massive content creator in the form of Hollywood, and Renzo is this world-class coach.
Well, the irony in that is that I actually feel that Hollywood's rather quiet and subdued when you're looking at the group of Italians, whereas on stream, if he's producing content, he is kind of the main show. He is Hollywood, and Renzo is very active. You get all sorts of different reactions, and you see him going over the tactical board. But again, just to kind of set up the second leg, I feel like both sides are okay with it. The Italians always wanted a low-scoring affair. They're a defensive team, and then they look to take advantage of those opportunities when they present themselves.
Yeah, well, that's the Italians just sitting there. Danny Pitbull then and Oberon, the two guys going to stick in the seats, we're pretty sure. Hollywood then in the darker blue jacket, and then Catcher with him there. And then this is Yilmaz. At the moment, he's still in the seat. I guess, Aggie, it comes down to whether Levy wants to sub him out. Actually, Renzo's thoughts sometimes go out the window. It seems that Levy is very much the captain here, and actually you can't see him in his seat, which maybe means he's taking a quick break.
Yeah, I think that it's a decision that they make together. But obviously, if one of the players, or in particularly Levy, sees something, he's gonna mention it to the coach, to Renzo, and he's eventually gonna make that final decision whether it's happening or not. But as it stands right now, Mike summed it up pretty well. I mean, both teams are canceling each other out right now. It's natural. It's a semi-final at a World Cup. You don't want to take the chances, and the chance will come for one of them, and I see it go to a 1-goal victory for one of the teams here.
I mean, even the casters there, Brandon, was saying there's not much to read into it, there's not much to break down. Even if you are Manu Bashir and you're sitting behind, can he look at that a little bit differently from us and Rich and Alex there and say, I saw that, and that's where there's a weakness?
It definitely does help, doesn't it, having that third eye on the game, having a chance to sit back without the pressure. I think there could be a change if the game does stay at 0-0. I don't think we'll see it now before a ball's been kicked in the second leg. But what do we know about this Dutch team? They don't mind making subs, 60, 70 minutes into the game. If they feel like we could be going into extra time, that's when Manu Bashir might come in with a fresh set of ideas.
Yeah, well, Let's go back to the Italian team. We know there's a lot of love for these guys in the house and coming in on social media as well. Let's read a couple of good luck messages that have been sent in for the Azzurri.
Ciao ragazzi, un saluto a tutta la community della Nazionale. Ci state facendo sognare, in bocca al lupo per oggi e Forza Italia.
Ciao ragazzi, ci siamo. Che siete dei fenomeni lo sapevamo già, ora però lo sta vedendo tutto il mondo. Purtroppo arrivati a questo livello anche il minimo errore può fare la differenza, lo sapete, ma noi abbiamo quella cazzimma e siamo abituati a certe imprese. Ricordate però una cosa, noi non dobbiamo dimostrare niente a nessuno. Vincete questo mondiale per tutte le persone, per tutti noi che vi stiamo guardando, ma soprattutto vincetelo per voi. Obrun, Francesco, sei il mio più grande orgoglio, e non solo perché hai seguito la tua passione da piccolo, ma soprattutto perché hai fatto 1000 sacrifici e hai buttato sudore. Quindi mi raccomando, sei lì perché nessuno al mondo lo merita più di te. Quindi Forza Italia, in bocca al lupo e annientateli.
A tutti i ragazzi della Nazionale un in bocca al lupo, siamo orgogliosi di voi, un bacio, in bocca al lupo.
Some lovely words there, and the Italians getting a little bit emotional as well at watching those good luck messages come in.
I didn't know that was coming. Wow, and they obviously didn't know that was coming either. And you see the unity there, the support, and I think it also breeds a little bit of accountability. When you prepare for an event, you know that you're representing your nation fully and that you have so many people back home that have that expectation and really have so much belief in these players as individuals and as a collective.
Well, we are ready then with our second leg. Nothing to separate these two sides going into this one. So let's hand back over to Rich and Alex to see if anyone can break the deadlock.
Thank you very much, guys, on the desk. Good stuff as always. We're back underway with no time left to go. I mean, if I'm down on the stage in that Italian booth, I'm getting emotional before we kick off the second leg. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
I think if I'm Holland, Netherlands, there I'm going. Yeah, carry on playing the Italian messages. Take their attention away from the game. Get them focused on something else, maybe a little bit emotional, seeing that support come through. Let's see how Italy take that inspiration into their game.
Well, it's going to do one or two things. It'll either G them up or maybe take their focus ever so slightly off their task at hand. And I can guarantee you, if you do take a second away from this game, if you are Italian in that booth right now, the Netherlands will punish you.
There's
no
one thing
changes as well.
Yeah, Emre and Levy, if you give them just half an inch, they will pounce. They will take it every single time. They are so clinical when they are in those positions. Italy have to remain focused, which so far in the first 10 minutes, they've looked pretty calm.
This is Italy in the second leg of action. If you are just joining us, FIFAe Nations Cup semi-final. If you win this game, $150,000 guaranteed power shot. Sails up the bar after a nice deflection on its way through. Short corner, Thierry Henry recycled to the edge of the box, Mbappe into Ousmane Dembele. Now Jude Bellingham gets involved. It's nice, it's precise. For Italy, having to go back to potentially find another way out. The Italians, once again, with that one-touch passing in around the box. Ousmane Dembele into R9. His shot deflected. It will rebound. Offside.
Yeah, again, as Italy look to build up, they're happy to go back and recycle, work their way into that final third slowly. But then there's a moment. There's a time where they say, now, let's flip that switch. Let's go. Let's be quicker. Let's be direct. Looking to change that tempo and catch the Netherlands off guard to get into that 18-yard box, but just not got that extra clinicalness to try and take those defenders on.
Ruslan getting a lot of space here, cuts it back, and the Netherlands inside the opening 20 minutes of leg number 2 will break the deadlock. It was all about the ball out wide. They gave him too much space. He went into it. One Frenchman to another. Thierry Henry puts the Netherlands 1-0 up.
The pitch just opened for Roussillon to drive into that space. Italy just didn't respect it. They didn't get out to that byline to say, no, you cannot go any further. The simple cutback and probably one of the most easiest finishes the Netherlands will have in this tournament.
And we saw what the Netherlands did against Morocco when they got a goal in the second leg. They put 5 past them. Will we start to see the Netherlands flex their muscles on the main stage?
You promised that the second leg would deliver and be better.
A Richard Buckley promise never doesn't happen. I always deliver.
And just like Roussillon there, he delivers it on a plate to Henry.
And they're in again. The Netherlands 2-0 in the space of 6 minutes. The space is opening up. The Italians look shell-shocked.
I cannot wait to see the highlight on that, to see where the defence went for Italy. It just opened up for the Mbappe to drive through, taking credit full to Netherlands. The ability to go in this moment, one of the biggest moments of their career, I want to ensure that I green time this, giving the keeper no chance. A brilliant finish, Netherlands looking on top.
The Italians with everything to do. Trailing 2-0. And it is a flash that they have been hit by. How do they recompose? By getting a goal back. R9 driving in the box, couple of step overs, good defensive work from the Dutch.
In that first leg, time and time again, we said how the Netherlands were looking to be so direct into their strikers. It paid off for them there in that second goal. And it's also how one goal changes your confidence. It changes your outlook on the game. It was cagey in that first leg. Neither team wanting to make a mistake, wanting to take the game to the opposition. The Netherlands now have said, right then, if you don't want to take that on you, Italy, we're going to do it ourselves and put ourselves in that commanding position.
A third, potentially, could be on a postcard for the Netherlands here. The way that they're knocking this ball around, the confidence is flowing. Got those 2 men on the screen, Levy and Emre. Getting to the byline, good tackle from Hakimi. They stopped it on that occasion. They didn't allow the Netherlands to have the byline.
No, looking to be more aggressive out there with a fullback, just to stop any player looking to drive into that area where, you know, as soon as you enter the penalty box, one bad tackle, one mistake, you're giving away a penalty. You have to be so careful. So stopping it out in that area before they even look to progress is the best way to defend it. We spoke about how Italy's running to get to this stage. They were mature. Showed something they haven't shown so far in this tournament as Roussillon comes through.
What they have shown is Roussillon a lot of space. And he has been the pinnacle and catalyst of everything the Netherlands have created here. It's all down that right-hand side.
It is, and in that first leg, because they were being so wanting to go through the middle in pretty much every attack, the Italians were the ones using their wing-backs exceptionally well. It has switched over now, and the Netherlands saying, we're going to push our wing-backs up. We're actually going to play the ball out to the wing to allow them to get into those dangerous areas.
As we are about to approach half-time here, the Netherlands will come forward once again. A third goal will be catastrophic for Italy. They don't even want to test fate as they launch it out of play. It's been a double from the Dutch, and let's get the thoughts of the guys on the couch.
Well, half-time, the Netherlands, again, we have to talk about it. It's very similar to what we saw yesterday, Mike, in some ways. Slow, cagey first leg, as you said rightly, and then second leg, they just become explosive.
They adjust the tempo, and you're seeing them put a little more pressure, they're a little more decisive. They just look a little more confident when you get into that final third. You see the overlapping runs. It makes all the difference, and it's putting Italy under a lot of pressure going into that second leg.
Let's have a look at the highlights.
The second half of the second leg, excuse me.
What we've seen so far, you are right, still 45 minutes left to be played here for a comeback. Aggie, talk to me through the game, because suddenly the Netherlands just were able to find their feet just before the 20th minute mark.
Yeah, they're starting to find solutions, and we see it here, just Roussillon playing a huge part, just running down the wing and finding that driven pass into a simple tap-in, and that kick-started Netherlands. They started to get that confidence, and after a sloppy possession loss there from Italy, Mistakes are punished at this stage of the competition, and the Netherlands are looking really solid.
And that one hurts, especially if you're an Italian fan. It's a bad giveaway. It's in the middle of the pitch. It was unnecessary, and it just makes the counterattack so easy for Netherlands. You gave them a gift. You provided for them, and now Italy's going to have to work extremely hard. And I expect tactical adjustments. I don't know that we'll see a substitution, but we will see additional pressure from the Italian team.
Yeah, there has been a substitution by the looks of it.
Curse of the commentator, as I do.
You called for it, and we got it. I mean, the one thing that I'm going to say here, I think it's the first time we've seen Danny Pitbull get subbed out. This is through group stage and knockouts. They've never been in a situation like this. 2 goals down with all to do. Back to the casters for this second half of the semi-final.
Thank you very much, guys. We are back underway in the second half. A personnel change. Alex, what do you read into it? They're just going to go for it.
They've got to go for it, and you've mentioned plenty of times before, sometimes just switching up the roster that you have, bringing someone else in, where we see Katja come in. It can just catch the opponents out. They've been so used to defending those 2 players. Katja can offer something different, have different skill sets, and we'll see if it can provide for Italy.
When we were just watching that second goal back there on the couch, I know where the space came from. Frankie de Jong went forward, they set him on the run. You lose possession when you send a player forward and you lose it. The entire middle of the park was open, and the Netherlands are having their way at this current moment against the Italians.
It was actually a similar story with the first goal as well.
What a pass. Is it? The keeper don't want it. Oh, it's Mixie at the back.
That was a ball. Breather now for Netherlands.
That exact pass they were doing time and time again yesterday in the Saudi Arabia match as well. Just outside, you send the player through the middle of the pitch, and he's too far away that you don't even clock him. And then you just play that through ball, the threaded through ball, just opens up the entire pitch.
It's actually something that I didn't have in my game until we went over to Italy, commentated over the Serie A. I thought, what are they doing? How are they doing that? It's an excellent way to get in.
But time is of the essence, as time is against the Italians. Trailing 2-0. Very fortunate to get the ball back there. The constant pressure will have to come in at some point.
The Netherlands are making it so difficult for Italy to even play out.
They've been annoying. They've been really annoying to play against.
They find themselves 2-0 up, and some teams will go, okay, yeah, we're going to look to be a little bit more defensive. We're not going to be too risky in that press. When they lose that ball, the double press that Emre Yilmaz and Levy have right now is what's giving them the freedom to move and play the game that they want to. It's making it so difficult for Italy to gather into the areas.
The player look is a moment of magic from the Netherlands. It opens up the entire pitch, and the Dutch are on their way to a FIFAe Nations Cup grand final.
Again, that drive out on the wing, the simple driven pass into the middle for R9, and when you allow him to turn that easily inside the 18-yard box, there is only going to be one outcome. Netherlands 3 to the good. Italy have a mammoth of a task.
No Manu Bashar needed on this occasion.
For the first time, maybe?
You've got a player of that quality sat behind you, waiting in the wings. You see Danny Pitbull has been substituted. He will not be able to play the rest of this game. Even if we do go all the way to penalties, it's Katja and Obrun with the Italian E-Nations Cup future in the palm of their hands, quite literally. The Netherlands have just looked like a different beast in this second leg.
A different beast, and
defensively poor from Italy, would you say?
Yes, on multiple occasions throughout this in their performances. The game against Saudi Arabia, Israel, they were so difficult to break down. They moved as a unit. They haven't done this here. They've been super aggressive when they're switching to that centre-back. The Netherlands have just took it past the centre-back every time with their ability to drive with Ruslan out on the wing, whatever it may be. And whether it's a game plan that the Netherlands have come into saying, look, when you beat the wing-back and the centre-back comes over, be aggressive, drive, take your man on, trust yourself, and generate space like that.
And they're in behind again. The Netherlands just couldn't quite get in front of his man there. Space. starting to open up. That's a lovely first time over the top through ball, but Paul Pogba can't quite shake off Milinkovic-Savic. Outrageous pass.
Yeah, lovely use of the outside of the boot there, and that through ball comes through once again.
That through ball just opening up the space. The power shot cancel. Oh, he's got to go. It's glorious to open up the space, but he just went to the near post, and that's where they predicted it.
For everyone at home, R9, chance. For everyone at home, you're probably wondering, why don't you go across goal? Why don't you shoot across goal? The Netherlands just had nerves of steel to say, we're not going to move our goalkeeper. That's what Italy were banking on there.
Yeah.
It's mind games. It's a 50-50. They're either going to move the goalkeeper or they're not. The Netherlands just stay, whether it was intentional or not, it keeps them in that commanding position. What a challenge.
He's out of position, though, Milinkovic-Savic. He's getting a bit scrappy. It's Sunday League football at its finest on the biggest stage here in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. But with only 14 minutes left, the Italians have to score, and they have to score now. Otherwise, the Dutch will be your first E-Nations Cup grand finalist. 2 appearances before. They got knocked out in the round of 16 last year. They got grouped in 2019. There will be a top 2 guaranteed placement, and that will be for Levy, a semi-final and a final at this year's 2 FIFA majors that he's participating in.
Levy stood there yesterday. He said it with chest. I want to go one step further. He doesn't want that heartache of a semi-final defeat again.
That is an unbelievable header, by the way. It's got a neck made of titanium. With 6-7 minutes remaining, there just seems to be too much to do for the Italians. Just talking about this second leg performance as we start to see the final few stages here playing out. It has been near perfect for the Netherlands in the second leg.
It has. And whether the first leg, we said that they went in at the end, 0-0. They were still in the game, both of these teams, as Italy come through.
It's too far. Just nothing's gone for Italy.
It hasn't. But Netherlands, they came out and they just looked more free-flowing, more intuitive with the decisions that they wanted to do. They weren't giving it away anywhere near as much in this second leg. And what did that mean? It meant they were getting forward into the final third. They were happy to drive, happy to take their man on. Well, they weren't doing that in that first leg. As Italy come through, Mbappe, fancy footwork. It is going to be a chance for Pogba, and that is the story of this semi-final. Whenever Italy have got a chance, they've simply not taken it.
And there you have it, full time. The Netherlands with a comprehensive second leg performance to book their place in a grand final. Renzo, Manu Bashir, Emre Yilmaz and Levi David are your first grand finalists. What a performance. Commiserations to the Italians. They faced real tough opposition in the knockouts in the form of Israel and Saudi Arabia in the quarterfinals. It was one step too far against a dominant Dutch team.
A dominant Netherlands side, which I want to give credit to the whole team that we have there. Because you were saying at the end of the first leg, is it time for Manu to come in again? Renzo maybe took account to the situation that they're in. It's a semi-final, it's the first leg. Let's trust our 2 players, it's only 0-0. Let's not get too hasty and change it early. Let's give them the first 45 of that second leg, see what they can do. Putting trust in those 2 players, and they delivered.
Great respect on the stage here as well. Every single member of that Netherlands team going over and saying they're well done to the Italians. Just look what it means to that entire Italy team. So much passion, so much heart on display. I'm sure they will be back. You can see exactly what it means to Italy. Commiserations to them. The Netherlands go into the grand final, and Spencer Owen is down with their immediate reaction.
Lads, fantastic stuff. Congratulations. You're making it look easy. That's 3-0 in the semi-final, 5-0 in the round before that. What's the secret?
Yeah, we are preparing for this tournament a whole long time ago. Like the whole year we're preparing, and we are so steady in defense and attack. We are so good.
Last year, obviously top 16. You've already gone a lot better than that, but is it now all about winning it?
Yeah, of course, you play finals to win. Of course, we're happy to be there already, but in the end, you want to win that final, and if not, it will be a heartbreak, of course.
Renzo, as coach, how important is it, do you think, that these guys have got a kind of domestic club partnership as well with the Team Hullet link up? They spend a lot of time playing together away from national duty.
I think that gives us the edge at this point because, like I said, all tournament long, we trust each other, we're a team, and we're even, like, I'm making the final decisions, but we're always talking stuff through. And even I asked Manu, like, do you feel confident being subbed in? But he was like, nah, Emre got this. And yeah, that just sums it up.
Great teamwork for sure. Levi, you've actually got the best record of any team left in the tournament now. You've only lost one game all tournament in your group. Every other team has lost 2 games in the group. So despite not winning your group, you actually have got the best record. Does that make you the favourites now?
That's the same question again. Yeah, France and Brazil are both like really tough teams. And it's probably going to be a 50-50 matchup again. I felt like this game was a 50-50 match as well until we scored the 1-0. So I don't think we are the favorites. I would think it will just be a 50-50 matchup.
Just remember, Levi, if you keep winning, I'm going to keep asking that question because you get closer to being the winners. Well done, guys. That's fantastic from you. We're going to cross over to the Italian booth, who obviously are not in the best spirits after that defeat, but still a very, very good performance. Guys, how are you feeling?
Of course, bad. We thought it was in our chance to get into the final. As Levi said, I agree with him. It was a 50-50 until they scored. Like, after that, maybe we lost some, I don't know how to say, some security of our gameplay. And they scored another one. And maybe we had a mental breakdown where we considered the third one. Of course, at this level, if you are 2 or 3 goals down, it's almost impossible to come back. We did our best. We are not happy, of course, but we know we gave everything here. So we are proud of ourselves. I'm proud of Dani. I'm proud of Francesco, of Nello, of everyone here. And I hope that every Italian fans at home is proud of us. We did our best for our flag, and that was matters the most.
I'm sure they are. You have been fantastic. You're consistently right up there at the top of the world, top 4 2 years in a row now, which is very difficult to do. What do you need to do to break into that top 2 or top 1 position next year?
I don't know, maybe the mentality in some parts of the game, but I just want to say thanks to everyone, to Dani, Caccia, Anello, because top 4 is a good position and they deserve the win, so GG's to the Netherlands and good luck to the France and Brazil.
And finally, a word from the Federation here. I'm sure you're very proud of these guys, not just for the FIFA they've played, but the way they conduct themselves as well.
Absolutely. We are absolutely proud of our team. When you compete, you can win or you can lose. So it's part of the game. And I think all the 24 teams that are here in Riyadh are in some way some winners. So absolutely we are going to retry for the next year.
Fantastic. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before we see the Italians lift the E-Nations trophy. It won't be this year, but it could be next year. We've still got the small matter of another semi-final to come, including the current world champion.
We just saw Italy falling again at the same spot they did last year. And Mike and I were just chatting about this actually off camera, and you could see the emotion, couldn't you, in Danny Pitbull's face there. And I just said to Mike, do you think that emotion is showing a lot more now because maybe he's getting to the end of his career and he maybe thinks it's another kind of title gone missing there, Mike?
I believe in him having more time under his belt that in terms of being able to compete at the highest level. But the reality is, this is FIFA Esports, and this year, last year, they might not get another opportunity. It might not click the same way. The players might not perform the same way. This group might not work together in the same manner. There might be new talent that has to come in. You have to recirculate. You have to make those substitutions, those adjustments. We talk about Brazil a little bit, but like 2 of the 3 players weren't there last year and they won the entire title. They're E-Nations champions, so a lot can shift in a year.
Opportunity definitely going missed there for the Italian side. Do you feel, Aggie, and they had a lot of missed chances in the match as well, we can see these right now, but just talk to me a little bit about, was it their time, do you think, this year to capitalise on getting all the way through to the semis once again?
I think they did great, but in this particular second leg, they didn't play up to their best, and I think we just saw the difference between the Netherlands and Italy here. Netherlands were dominating, and Italy had that one chance we're seeing there, which could have been some sort of catalysator to come back into the match. But I think Mike sums up very well. When you are in these positions, you never know if you're going to be in them again, so you got to make the maximum out of it. And unfortunately for Italy, I think they made two grand mistakes that you can't make at this level.
It looked like there, from just seeing those mistakes, they could have had 2 goals easily, Brandon.
You're absolutely right. I think, as the guys were saying, mentally, when you're 2-0 down in the game, you're chasing the game, those chances become even more intense, even more sort of pressurised, and I think they just met their match. I think, look, this Dutch team, I said it before, if there's a time for them to win, it's this year. They've had poor results in past Nations. Look at that team, look at Team Hullet, look at the individuals. Is it their year?
It seems like it, doesn't it, Mike? They just come out their second leg and do what?
They win. They win. They come out with different energy. They're a little bit different. We have to give a lot of credit to the Netherlands, and I think they do come into that final, even with the previous champions with Brazil, if they were to get by France, as a little bit of a favorite. And to Italy, the reason it hurts them so much is it was a little bit self-inflicted in some ways. There were a couple big mistakes that cost them that game, and in some ways you'd rather your opponent just outplay you as opposed to you actually having a miscommunication, a bad pass, a poor defensive step.
It was Italy with a few too many mistakes, but the Netherlands with 3 goals to book their spot in the grand final. And Alex is going to go through them for us.
We are indeed, Rachel. We're going to tell you what it was that the Netherlands did to get past this Italian side, and maybe some defensive mistakes from Italy as well. Taking a look at the first goal, the difference that we saw in this game, the Netherlands managed to get the ball into their forwards and then go out wide to the wing. Henry steps up, he's really aggressive on that ball, and what does that mean if you are going to lose that battle out there? You're playing a 5 at the back. This is the left centre-back that now has to come over. Immediately, Buffon is being super aggressive here instead of looking to cover the byline because he's wary of this position in the middle for maybe a cross. So Roussillon just takes that drive, and then when you get into this area, your wing-back, your centre-back are out of position. The middle centre-back is trying to cover R9 in the middle, and it just leaves Henry free for that driven pass with that R1X working a treat. That put them 1-0 up. The second goal came from Italy trying to play out. They sent their centre midfielder of De Jong out on that run, and he is now out of position. He is leaving a gaping hole here. So when Bellingham receives this ball, you could easily go out to wing, but Italy were looking to be direct. They wanted to get that goal back. Being very aggressive in that area, Roussillon wins that ball high up the pitch. Again, we see the centre-back move out of position, getting ready for the next pass into here. What it leaves is the ability for Mbappe to go all that way through, get into goal, and that green time finish. And then to seal the deal out on that wing, Henry drives. This is fantastic from the Netherlands. The player lock comes through. You can't see it on your screen, but Levy was controlling a player at the top end of the box. That then means that R9 can look for that player lock. In 2v2, it's not as common, but that then gives R9 the ability to turn and get that finish. It was a beautiful performance from the Netherlands, and I'm really excited to see how they get on in the final, but we do have one big semi-final to go over next, Rachel.